What drove Britain from a remote island to a global superpower, and how did its empire shape the modern world we know today? Hi friends! Welcome to my brand new channel. Don't forget to subscribe, if not done it already. Let's move to today's topic. Let's go! The British Empire stands as one of the most influential and expansive empires in world history. At its pinnacle, it spanned continents, shaped global trade, and left a complex legacy that continues to influence societies today. In this documentary, I will guide you through its origins, rise, peak, decline, and enduring impact presented in a descriptive and engaging style suitable for all age groups. The story of Britain begins with the Celts settling the British Isles around 700 BC. Followed by Roman invasions and centuries of Anglo-Saxon, Viking, and Norman rule. The Norman conquest of 1066, led by William the Conqueror, established a centralized monarchy and laid the groundwork for the future English state. In 1497, King Henry VII authorized John Cabot to explore new lands, marking England's first significant overseas venture with Cabot's arrival in North America. These early explorations set the stage for a new era of maritime ambition, as England sought to compete with Spain and Portugal for global influence. The defeat of the Spanish Armada in 1588 established English naval supremacy and opened the door to overseas expansion. In 1600, Queen Elizabeth I granted a charter to the East India Company, which would become a dominant force in Asian trade and later, territorial control in India. In 1607, Jamestown, Virginia, became the first permanent English settlement in North America. Over the next century, England established colonies along the Atlantic coast, in the Caribbean, and in Canada. The Navigation Acts of 1651 cemented economic control over these colonies, ensuring that trade benefited England. The capture of Jamaica from Spain in 1655 marked the beginning of large-scale British involvement in the Caribbean, with enslaved Africans brought to work on sugar plantations. By the late 17th century, British settlements had spread across North America, the Caribbean, and parts of Africa. The East India Company's private army defeated the Nawab of Bengal at the Battle of Plassey in 1757, allowing Britain to control vast territories in India. British influence expanded through both military conquest and alliances, laying the foundation for the British Raj. By the mid-18th century, Britain controlled large parts of North America, including the 13 colonies that would later become the United States. The American Revolution, 1775 to 1783, resulted in the loss of these colonies, a major blow but not the end of British imperial ambitions. In 1788, Britain established a penal colony in Australia, marking the beginning of British settlement in the Pacific. The 19th century saw Britain become the workshop of the world, using its industrial power to dominate global trade. The abolition of the slave trade, 1807, and slavery, 1833, marked significant social changes, though the empire continued to benefit from other forms of exploitative labor. Following the Indian Rebellion of 1857, the British government took direct control of India, ending the East India Company's rule and beginning the era of the British Raj. The late 19th century saw Britain acquire vast territories in Africa, including Egypt, South Africa, Nigeria, and Kenya, often through military conquest or treaties. By the early 20th century, Britain controlled a quarter of the world's land and population. The term British Commonwealth of Nations was adopted in 1931 to describe the self-governing dominions within the empire. The two world wars weakened Britain economically and militarily, making it harder to maintain control over its vast empire. Nationalist movements gained momentum across the colonies, demanding self-rule and independence. India, the jewel in the crown, gained independence in 1947, followed by the partition into India and Pakistan. Other colonies in Asia, Africa, and the Caribbean followed suit, achieving independence through negotiation, protest, or conflict. The last significant British colony, Hong Kong, was returned to China in 1997, marking the symbolic end of the British Empire. English is now a global language, spoken by millions as a first or second language. British legal, educational, and political systems have influenced many former colonies. The empire facilitated global trade networks, but also exploited resources and labor, leading to lasting inequalities. The legacy of colonialism includes both positive developments, such as infrastructure and institutions, and negative consequences, such as cultural disruption and economic dependency. Modern perspectives on the British Empire are mixed, with some viewing it as a force for progress and others emphasizing its role in oppression and exploitation. Debates continue over how to remember and teach the history of the empire, especially regarding issues of race, identity, and reparations. From its modest beginnings on a small island, to shaping the world in profound ways, the British Empire's history is a story of exploration, conquest, innovation, and transformation. Whether you see it as a force for progress or a chapter of controversy, its legacy is undeniable. What do you think was the empire's greatest impact? What are your thoughts on this short documentary? I spend a lot of time researching these articles. If you like this information, please subscribe and help me grow my channel. You can find the details of channels in my bio and description. Faint Whispers on YouTube, Faint Whispers on TikTok, and Doodle Snips on YouTube for short animated videos.